Greetings and salutations, and this is Playz here, back with more Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and we are at the part of the game that people love to bitch and moan about being cut from the remake. And I finally understand why, because it's one of the best areas in the game. Oh, hello again. I'm gonna talk over this cutscene too. I did not care. I don't know why I'm so mad that OG Carlos isn't as good as the remake Carlos. I think it's because it's the one part of the game I prefer in the remake, and I don't like giving the remake praise after playing the original. Because, like, at this point, praising the remake at all just feels bad. Even though it did do that part better. It did do Carlos better, like, way fucking better. But it's whatever. Let's go. So, I might have said it earlier in the Let's Play, but this area and the Dead Factory at the end of the game are the two areas that I'm disappointed weren't in the remake now that I've played the original. I do not care about Raccoon City part. Do I think they could have done something cool with it? Maybe. Especially with, like, modern technology, maybe they could have made it super spooky. Maybe they could have, like, fuck it, they could have put the Gravedigger boss there. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... You do fight the Gravedigger twice in this game, don't you? Because I just remember you fight it in the park. So yeah, if they kept the park, they could have kept the Gravedigger. But, you know what, it's whatever. I read somewhere that, like, somebody, like, had the theory that maybe they combined the Gravedigger with the, Hunter Gammas to produce the Hunter Gammas we got in the remake. And I like that theory in parts, but I feel like if that's what they did, that's a little stupid. It does seem like they combined the Drained Deimos and the Brain Suckers, because they were basically the same enemy recolored anyway. Like, the Brain Suckers just look slightly taller when they attack you, and then they have green on them, and then they spew poison when they die. And I'm pretty sure they're supposed to poison you. Like, they literally just combine those into one enemy, but that makes sense. If they combine the Hunter Gammas, which I think in this game is just red Hunters, I think we only fight like 2 of them. If they combine Hunter Gammas with the Gravedigger boss, that's no excuse to cut the Gravedigger. It's really not. I feel like that boss could have been really fucking scary in the RE engine. Because here in the old OG game, it's not that scary. It's probably like the only enemy in the game that's like not scary at all. I mean, the zombies aren't scary at all, but that's because I'm used to like the 2 remake zombies and the 1 remake zombies, which both have mechanics that make them spooky. Like, the 1 remake zombies can come back as Crimson Heads, which is super fucking scary. And then the 2 remake zombies can play dead and all that shit, and yeah. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but something I'm kind of hoping for with RE Requiem, with it being back in Raccoon City, is that we get Crimson Heads. I feel like it was a missed opportunity to not have Crimson Heads at least in RE3 remake. They did put the Pale Heads there, which I guess is kind of like an in-between of the Crimson Heads and the way I see it, they're kind of an in-between of the Crimson Heads and Regenerators, which will later appear in RE4. The Pale Heads were a cool addition to the RE3 remake. It's probably the only other thing that I say I like about it after replaying, or after playing the original, besides Carlos, is basically I like the Pale Heads. I like the idea of them. They're basically enemies that will regenerate unless you do enough damage to fully kill them. And it's like, that's why I said it's like an in-between of like the Crimson Heads and the Regenerators, because they're super tanky like the Crimson Heads, but they regenerate like the Regenerators. They just, like the Regenerators, they can be killed, but it's not through like a weak spot. It's basically you deal enough damage to them. Usually, if I remember correctly, you have to use, like, grenade rounds on them, and it'll end them. You have to use, like, a couple of them or something like that. I forget. But, yeah, this is where the difference is, I'm pretty sure. Like, if I recall, I did do a replay where I made different choices. If I recall, this is where the difference between like where you enter is. I entered through an area where the train crashed, but I think, could be wrong, this other save room we're coming up on, I think is the other save room you could end up at if you chose not to jump out of the train. I don't know what made me choose to jump out of the train. I just chose it. It was like, some of these decisions I actually think about, and then the other ones I'm like, nah, I'm just doing this. I don't care. But yeah. Let's, we got grenade rounds. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm sorry my mic is hitting my face so much. I have to keep it close to my face due to, like, the way my mic works. It's been getting better, like, mic quality, but the issue is I can't tell how close it is to my face because it's out of my line of sight. And due to that, I have to, like, fiddle with it sometimes to make sure it's not, like, too close to my face or anything. Oh, damn, there's a zombie on the floor. There's a zombie on the floor. Sir, can you please back the fuck off? Please and thank you. Now, last video, I began talking about, like, I have good news for something, and then, like, I cut myself off, started talking about something else, and I never brought it up again. That thing is, I don't know why I did that. Usually when I cut myself off about talking about something, I'll bring it up later on in the video anyway, but, like, I didn't do it that time. But basically, I have good news for Playz Season 2. This is, aside from this game being the first one, y'all already know this game's coming, because, like, you're sitting here watching the video, obviously. But Psychonauts 2 is going to be the next Let's Play. We are fucking golden this season of Playz. I plan to do RE Requiem if I'm able to get it before it releases. Having a bit of, like, money troubles right now, and it's releasing in just a few months. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, 5 months from now. So, if 5 or 6 months, something like that. 5 months from when this video goes up, but, like, 6 months from when I'm recording. So, if we don't have, like, those money issues, like, sorted, I'm able to get, like, cheap games like this, but, like, this was pretty cheap. But I'm not able to, like, get anything full price. So if we don't have that sorted, I might have to wait for a sale and do RE Requiem a little late. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, because I'd rather do, like, RE Requiem, if I'm able to get the money to get it, right, would be the first RE game I do on release. Because all the other ones I waited for sales, or waited a while until I was able to get help to get it, or saved up money or something. Like, something like that, yeah. So, RE Requiem will be the first RE game I try to get on launch, or by launch, like if I'm pre-ordering it. But we'll have to wait and see if, like, the money issues can be solved, because if they can, I can get it. If they can't, I'll probably save it as, like, an extra Let's Play to do after Season 2 Playz concludes, and just do it as, like, an extra finale Let's Play to Season 2 or something. We'll see what happens, but right now the plan is, aside from that game, is to finish RE3, which we already have all the gameplay for RE3 and Psychonauts 2. We just have to do the commentary for the rest of them and do edits and stuff. But those two are set in stone. We have all the gameplay for them. Like I said, RE Requiem is planned, but it's a game I still have to get, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it in time. So it might be a little late, worst case scenario. We might have to do it a few months late when it goes on sale. We'll see how that works out. Okay. Another save state I forgot to cut. But yeah. The other games besides this game, Psychonauts 2 and RE Requiem, I'm thinking about for Playz Season 2. I'm considering BioShock. I'm considering Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I just repurchased for like $5. Because I've been meaning, there's like a few games I've been meaning to get back for Let's Plays that I owned at some point when it was like a physical copy. Or I owned through like the few months I had PS Plus Premium just to... Because there was like a half off thing for PS Plus Premium. So I got it for like the remaining 8 months of like my last PlayStation Plus renewal. I basically had it from February of last year till like October of last year, I want to say. when was it? I'm trying to think how, like, when my, no, it was September. I had it from February to September, so like 7-ish months. I think, yeah, 7 months. So I had it for 7 months, and, like, I had Sly Cooper, the Thieves Raccoonus, which I plan to repurchase for a Let's Play eventually, because that game was super fun. I'm considering eventually getting, like, Sly 2 and 3 if I ever do a Sly Cooper Thieves Raccoonus Let's Play, but that's not related to Season 2 of Tech Plays at all. If I get those games, it'll be later seasons. But right now, the current contenders for, like, other Let's Plays, because I'm planning to do 5 Let's Plays this season. I did 4 last. I'm planning for, like, the standard number of Let's Plays I do to be 5, unless something happens like last season, where I kept taking too many breaks, and the season was just dragging on because of that. That's why I cut it off at 4, because I was like, if I do another Let's Play, this season will have taken a whole year, and I don't want that. I want them to last, like, 8 months about, which it basically did. It did last, like, 8 months. It started in November, and then it ended in, like, July. Yeah, basically 8 or 9 months is how long it took me to get through 4 Let's Plays. And, like, this time I'm pre-recording Let's Plays in advance to kind of fix that problem, because I want to, like... But the standard amount I'm going to have per season is going to be 5 Let's Plays, unless something happens to lower it to 4, or there's too many really short Let's Plays, then I'll do, like, a 6th one. That's, like, the current plans, is, like, to do 5 Let's Plays, unless I need to do 6, or I need to cut it down to 4. We'll see. But the current plans outside of, like, the only set in stone Let's Plays are this one and Psychonauts 2. That's the only set in stone ones. RE Requiem is, like, on the maybe list, and it's the least likely of the maybe list because of money issues I just previously mentioned. But there's other games I already own, which I'm heavily considering. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I just got back for $5. That was on my buyback list because my original copy was physical. But I got that back, and I'm planning to do a Let's Play of that. I don't like Tomb Raider 2013 or whatever year it was, 2014, whatever. I don't like that one, and I don't like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I adore Rise of the Tomb Raider. So it's, like, high up on the list. Sorry for hitting the mic. I do hand gestures when I talk, because that's how I talk. But I hit my mic by accident doing hand gestures. Sorry about that. But basically, Rise of the Tomb Raider is, like, at the top of that list. Other possibilities, and I'm not really heavily considering any of these. These are just games I want to do Let's Plays of eventually. And they're, like, the ones I'm considering most next to Rise of the Tomb Raider. Are Bioshock, both Bioshock 1 and 2. Batman Arkham City and Asylum. Crash Bandicoot, the first one, because it's the only one of the Insane Trilogy I haven't done yet. And then Alone in the Dark, which I originally did start a Let's Play of, but I canceled the Let's Play because part of the footage got corrupted and I didn't want to, like, yeah. Basically, Alone in the Dark might actually be right under Rise of the Tomb Raider. If I can't do RE Requiem this season of Tech Plays, I'll definitely do Alone in the Dark in its place. It's basically a backup to RE Requiem right now. But if I can do RE Requiem this season the Tech Plays, it'll be for Season 3. Like, Alone in the Dark will be pushed back to Season 3. It's the only one that's like a replacement Let's Play right now. Because, like I said, the rest of them I own. So basically, we're going to do 5 Let's Plays. It's going to be RE3 Nemesis, which we're doing right now. Psychonauts 2. The third Let's Play, and these aren't in order. Like, after Psychonauts 2, it's not really in order. It's just like the other ones. The third Let's Play is going to be most likely Rise of the Tomb Raider. The fourth one, like I said, these aren't necessarily in order, but they might end up being in order. The fourth one is either going to be RE Requiem, or it's going to be Alone in the Dark. Depending on if I can get RE Requiem. The fifth one is either going to be Crash, Bioshock, or Batman. Or Batman Arkham. I don't know. If it's Crash, it's definitely going to be Crash 1, 100%. If it's Bioshock or Batman Arkham, I have 2 options for both. I also have Arkham Knight, but I'm saving that until I do the first 2 Arkham games eventually. Because I do plan to eventually do both Bioshock 1 and 2, all three of the Arkham games I own, and Crash 1. There's also the Walking Dead series, which I only did season 1 for. But I've been trying to figure out a way to do that, because I have the issue of, like, rambling too much over, like, I have trouble commentating for Telltale games, Let's Plays. It's why I've only done 2 of them. I did, like, Tales from the Borderlands, and I did, The Walking Dead Season 1. And I want to do the other 3 Walking Dead seasons. And I want to do the Batman Telltale series, because I think I own both of those games, if I recall correctly. I at least own Season 1. If I don't own... I think The Enemy Within might have been a physical copy, so it might be another one of those games I gotta buy back. But the reason I don't have it on my buy back list right now is because I still have to figure out how I would go about commentating Telltale games if I were to do more of them. If I do more Telltale games, the next one is going to be The Walking Dead Season 2. That's another option for that 5th Let's Play. The Walking Dead Season 2, most likely... Here's the thing, Walking Dead Season 2, Crash Bandicoot, and if I choose Bioshock or Batman Arkham, the Bioshock option's most likely just going to be the first Bioshock game. That way I'm doing them in order. The Batman Arkham one will be whichever one I feel like, because I don't care what order I do those 2 games with, as long as I do those 2 games before Arkham Knight. That's all that matters to me. Like, I don't care what order I do Batman, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City in. It can be either or. I think I'm leaning more towards Arkham City if I do that. So it's basically Arkham City, Bioshock, Crash 1, or The Walking Dead Season 2. Most likely of those 4 is probably going to be Bioshock or Crash Bandicoot. It's most likely going to be one of those 2. And the reason for that is because I really want to get into Bioshock Let's Plays already. But that's like the excuse for that one. And I love the Batman Arkham games. I don't like doing Let's Plays of them as much. I've tried to do Let's Plays of them on this channel already, and I just never ended up finishing them, never ended up uploading them or anything like that. But yeah. I struggle, like, with... Because I love the Batman Arkham games, but I struggle with commentating over them for, like, not because of similar reasons to Telltale games, because, like, those games are way different. It's more so... I don't have as much to say about them. Because I've already rambled on and on about the Arkham games to friends and stuff, and I'm not as, like, hyper-fixated on them as I am other games. So, like, as much as I love them, and I love replaying them, there won't really be much for me to ramble about, and rambling is really how I keep these Let's Plays interesting. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know if anything happened in the game while I was rambling. I was watching the screen, but I wasn't really paying close attention. All I know is we had a locked door up there. Which I think is the door we gotta go through right now, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see, we'll see. It's locked. The god of time is this. I don't need the basic key. Where do we use this bitch then? Where do we use this bitch? I was not paying attention. Where do we use this bitch? I don't know why I'm doing an accent. It doesn't even sound like... The funny part is, I started doing an accent. It doesn't even sound like any accent I've heard. It sounds like a weird mixture of, like, several accents. It kind of sounds like I was, like, trying to do an Indian accent at the same time as, like, a Spanish accent. And, English accent. And that's what it sounded like to me, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Oh yeah, there's giant spiders, which I think only appear in this area. I do kind of miss these guys in the remakes, I won't lie. Like, I love RE2 Remake, but it would have been cool seeing giant spiders in it. RE3 Remake especially, which is lacking in enemies, because, like, you just have the 2 hunters, zombies, Drain Deimos, and the Paleheads, which is probably the lowest amount of like enemy variety I think in any RE game. Because like the RE1 remake, you have zombies, crimson heads, giant spiders, giant. You have not giant snakes. Snakes. You basically have zombies, crimson heads, giant spiders, snakes. You have the chimeras, which are my favorite enemy in RE1 remake. I feel like them and Crimson Heads are kind of tied for that. That's already 5. And I know there's 1 or 2 I'm missing. I'm trying to think back. Hold on. Okay. Hunters. That's 6. Already beating RE3 remake. Okay, hold on. I'm cheating here because RE1 remake enemies. I'm not counting bosses, by the way. I feel like that would be unfair because RE1 remake I already know off the bat has more bosses. Cerberus, which are also in RE3 remake, so fuck. That's 6 for RE3 remake. I still think that's pretty low. What's a Forest Spayer? Forest Spayer, once a proud member of Bravo team, is now one of the living dead. Based on his injuries, he was... Okay, shortly after finding the body, he will spring to life and come after you. He will behave similar to our zombie. However, he will move much faster and his bites are more damaging. Okay. When replaying the game with one dangerous zombie mode unlocked, Forest will appear in other areas of the mansion instead, but with one noticeable difference. His body is stripped. Okay, I already knew about one zombie mode. I've never played it because I don't think I would enjoy it. But I've known. Oh yeah, there's a wasp in the game. And there's giant sharks. That's 8. No, that's 9 on RE1 Remake. Okay, there we go. I'm not talking about Neptune, because I know Neptune's supposed to be considered a quote-unquote boss, even though you don't fight it like a boss fight. I'm talking about the other sharks. Like, there's like 2 or 3 other sharks in that area you gotta, like, avoid. You might be able to kill them. I'm not sure if you are, though. Oh, we're at this part. Lovely. What's going on here? What's going on? Oh, yeah, we gotta solve this puzzle. Lovely. This puzzle is a mixed bag for me. On one hand, I like the concept of it. On the other hand, I think this is where, like, the classic RE style of doing puzzles is at its worst. And I'm going to tell you what I mean here. So, for these puzzles, right, you have to actively click forward when text pops up like that. Then you have to click an option. Then you have to click forward on text again, click forward on text again, click an option. But it gets worse here because you have to play it back to make sure you got the right notes. Right? And I don't know, it's just, I feel like this puzzle is just the most time-consuming one in this game, I'm pretty sure. There is one I had trouble with later, but if I actually realized what I was supposed to be doing with that puzzle later, instead of, like, fucking around with it for a while and then realizing it, it wouldn't have been as long as this one. This is probably the most time-consuming puzzle in the game. That's why I said it's, like, where the classic RE style of puzzles, where you have to click forward on text, and then click your option, then click forward on text again, over and over again. Like, I'm kind of glad the remakes phased this out. Like, RE1 Remake has a few of these, but it's, like, not this bad. And then, like, this is the probably, outside of Carlos, this is really the only complaint I have with this game. It's just, a couple of the puzzles get like this. This is the first of 2 puzzles that get like this. There's one later that's not quite as bad as this one, but it still happens with it. But yeah. It's just so time consuming. That's really what I didn't like about it. I had to make a cut there because it took me like, I think, 8 minutes to do that puzzle. I'm exaggerating. It was probably more like 4 or 3 or something, but it's quite a lot of time for just that, you know? And the funny thing is, it's not a hard puzzle to solve, so it wasn't like time spent solving the puzzle. It was time spent putting in the answers I knew for the puzzle based off like what I heard playing it back. You know what I mean? Okay. Why am I just past me? What are you doing? So past me was in like the inventory for a minute, but I cut forward on that. We gotta save here. Then guess what's gonna happen next? But wait, there's more. There's more. So, if Jill shooting him with a grenade launcher didn't do him in, right? Right? And Mikhail tried to fight him, didn't do him in. The crane trashing didn't do or the train crashing didn't do him in. Guess who's outside the clock tower right now? It's our old buddy. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi to Nemesis. I love joking about Nemesis. He's scary when you're playing the game, but it's fun to joke about him in, like, retrospect. Watch him come up, watch him come up. Hi, Nimmy buddy. Okay, so we can either use the light or use the cord. We're gonna use the light. Yeah, because that sounds smarter. I don't know why that sounded smarter to me, but it did, and that's why I chose that. I think it's because in my mind I'm like, well, that'll blind him, right? So we can run off, but no, it does better than that. It fucking knocks him off. I do believe if you choose the other option, he does stalk you for a bit, but he's stunned for a moment, so you have like a grace period for like a few minutes before he does. But at the time of playing this, I didn't know that. I just chose what answer sounded smarter to me. And I was right, it is the smarter option, because then he's, like, dealt with until the next... Until basically the first mandatory boss fight with him. Because up till now, I'm pretty sure all his boss fights were optional. You could, like, run away. But we're going to be getting our first mandatory boss with Nemesis here shortly. I don't know if it's this video or the next one. It might not be until the next video. It might be this one, but we are getting a mandatory boss with Nemesis. There's like 4 of these in the game. First you fight like him with the rocket launcher out in the courtyard. The second one you fight also in the clock tower where he's got tentacles. And he's like mutated a little bit. Third one is the same form as that one, but it's like in the dead factory. Fourth form is also in the dead factory, but it's his final form. It's very similar to how the remake does it when you like think about it. It's just the forms and the bosses are better designed. I think remake did the base form Nemesis boss. I feel like 3 remake did the base Nemesis form boss better, but the other 3 are definitely better here. They're definitely better here. I do prefer Flamethrower Nemesis to Rocket Nemesis as a boss. But I feel like this game did the other 3 Nemesis bosses better. Like, way better. It did them way better. Like, there's no competition. But yeah. We're almost done with this Let's Play, too. Like, we're over the halfway point. After this video, we'll have, like, 3/5 of the Let's Play done. I'm considering doing like 2 videos in one day just to have 7 out of 10 parts done, but I'm not sure about that because I've been like, my sleep schedule's fucked up again. That's why I had to do the last video at fucking night. So, it depends on how much energy I have after this, because I am forcing myself to stay up all day. Which means I won't have much energy later in the day. So we'll see how much energy I have after this video is done being edited and uploaded and all that. We'll see how much energy I have after that. But yeah. This puzzle, fam. This puzzle's a little better. Yeah, this one's not that bad. You don't have to read too much text to do this one. Let's grab you. Epic, epic. Epic, epic, epic. I think I cut it out, but there was a part where I was like messing around with these, trying to figure out the puzzle, but I think I cut that out and just put in like the last couple tries at the puzzle, I think. That's what I've been doing with a lot of puzzles. If you notice a cut, that's why. If I didn't cut here, that means the puzzle was really that easy. Because this is one of the easier puzzles in the game, quite honestly. Okay, yeah, there was a cut. That means I messed up at some point. I think I messed up here too, but we'll see. We'll see. Nope, I got that one right. Okay. There we go. I think I only messed up once or twice on this puzzle, though. This was a pretty easy one. The last one was easy too. It was just time consuming. Pun not intended, by the way. Sorry for hitting the mic again. I'm trying to fix the mic, and it's hard to tell where it is without touching it. There we go. But oop. Oop. Oh, buddy tried. He tried. He tried. It's also getting pretty hot today. It's September, but I live in Georgia, and it like stays hot till like late October here, and I fucking hate it. It stays hot basically till like October 26th, 27th, something like that, every fucking year, and I fucking hate it. We basically barely get a month of fall. And fall's the best season, so that sucks. I'll be so happy when it starts getting colder, because that means I don't have, because part of what's restricting when I can record is I can't record in the late day. I have to do it at night, or I have to do it in the morning, or I have to do it in the afternoon. If I do it like after 4 p.m., but before like 8 p.m., it's fucking hot as hell. That's like the hottest point of the day. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, we look at. Okay. What am I? Oh, I think I'm checking for loot. Yeah, cause there we go. Loot. What would be if I did loot? I don't know why I always make that Playz reference when I haven't watched Playz in like a couple years. Playz is a YouTuber I used to really love, but like I think I just kind of grew out of his content. He didn't really like fall off or anything. It's just more so, I think I just grew out of it. Kind of the opposite of what happened with Game Grumps, because I kind of just grew out of Playz. Like I didn't really find him funny anymore. With Game Grumps, I found them funny until they literally became really forced. Like, their jokes and stuff are so forced now. I haven't watched Game Grumps in like 3 years, so those are like 2 YouTube channels I watched for years. Playz and Game Grumps that I just don't watch anymore. I still watch Jacksepticeye. I still watch Corey Kenshin. I still watch, I watch Dashie sometimes. Like, I gotta be in the mood to watch Dashie because he's super, like, hyper. I gotta be in the mood to watch him. Like, I gotta be, like, in the mood to be watching someone be super super hyper, basically. But I am still subbed to Dashie. I watch him sometimes. I watch Grian whenever I'm in the mood for Minecraft videos. I'm trying to think of what other gaming channels do I watch. I'm trying to think. Huh. I'll probably remember later, but those are like the 4 main ones. I watch Brain Scratch commentaries sometimes, mainly when they do a game I like, but sometimes I'll give their other series a chance. Fuck, who else? I think the main ones I watch are just Jacksepticeye and Corey Genshin. The other ones are all like situational, like I'll watch them when I feel like it. I always watch like new Jacksepticeye and new Corey Kenshin videos, so like regardless of what game it is, so whatever. I like Corey's videos better when he does Let's Plays. Same with Jacksepticeye, but I'll still watch their other shit. Still watch their other shit because they're fun. But yeah, we're going to be ending off the video here. Bye!